All right, so we're starting the session for today, and we've picked up a very big topic for today, and the topic is expectation. You know, when we are still a child, from the day that we are born, we start to expect. And who are we expecting from? Well, we are expecting from our mother that she's going to feed us, and when she feeds us, we are happy. And when she doesn't feed us or forgets about us, even for a small time, then we pretty much raise the entire, universe, and we are crying and bawling that mother has forgotten all about us. So as soon as we are born, we get into this expectation mode. And then after that, it just keeps growing. As we talked about in each of our sessions, that energy pot that we talk about is already holding expectations in it. And there's a very beautiful link. We first set up expectations, and expectations are with those people with whom we have attachment. And so from the attachment, we develop expectations. As the expectations are fulfilled, that makes us happy. And as the expectations are broken, that makes us sad. So the whole story about expectation is to experience deep joy and deep pain. That's what the expectations bring to us. When fulfilled, deep joy. When not fulfilled, deep pain. And we experience most of this in our relationships. So as we start to look at each relationships, the relationship with the mother, the father, the sisters and the brothers, even with your business partner, a relationship with God, and you have expectations everywhere. And when they do not fulfill those expectations, the finger is on them. I had this mold, I had this idea in my mind, and that idea you are not fulfilling. The energy that you hold has created this actor in your life, and then the idea that you hold about what this actor should look like. Now, the two of them are not matching. And when there is not a match between the energy that you hold and the idea, the projection that you hold, that a role should look like this, when these two don't match, that's where the expectations are broken. So who is to blame? Neither the pot nor the actor. Because why is it that all of this is happening? If you were aware and if you knew that there was a way to change it, you would change it. But all of this, it was already a part of your pot. And that is what is manifesting. And then this actor, why has this actor come into your life? This actor is simply a pull from the vibration that you are at. You are at the vibration from your energy field, and you are pulling actors which belong to that energy field. Now that you are aware that it's your energy field, now the healing can start. Now it becomes easier because now you don't have to go around changing all the relationships. Now you have to only change one. People sometimes come to me and say, I had this really long relationship and it's just fallen apart. I just can't live without him or her. And now I want to manifest that person back again in my life. So when somebody says, help me manifest that person back, and I say, no, are you crazy? No, absolutely not. I'm not going to help you manifest that person back. And the only thing that I tell them is that the energy that they were was the energy that you were. And now if they walked away, understand that your energy has either moved here or here. And now they no longer resonate with who you are. Who knows what that person was meant to give you? But if they've given you joy, well, take it and be happy. And now if they're giving you pain, take it, look at it, and be thankful to them, because they are actually showing you what is held in your energy pot. I read this, Mithali's okay. Doing work on yourself with the expectation of changing your external reality is also an expectation. How to get out of this trap. So beautiful. You're absolutely right, because it is an expectation, and it is an expectation which is proven to you many times. And yet, in so many times, it is that it doesn't work. The outside doesn't change, even though you've been working on yourself. And I tell to people all the time we don't know our entire energy. We only know very small bits and fractions of it. And so the only thing that I can promise you is that as you work on yourself, you will come to peace of mind. And that itself is a huge change inside. And let go of the expectation that the outside will change, because that letting go of the expectation will actually change it. It's just so funny, this entire paradox. And yes, the person who's asking this question has seen her life shift, from one end to completely the other through the work in the energies. So she's already seen so much of manifestation that it builds another level of attachment. Now you are attached to doing this energy work so that the outside can change. And so many times people come to me and say, we've done all the work on ourselves and still my health is not getting better. You told me, ask these questions in my guidance. What is this condition here to teach me? I asked. You told me do healings. I did. I've done everything, and yet my energy is not, changing my disease. What you've got over there is an attachment to this expectation as well. So, well, you will have to candlelight and ask yourself the question, so what if it never changes? So what if it never changes? And if that question gives you a lot of fear inside, then you still have fear inside that needs to be released. If it gives you a lot of doubts on yourself that, oh my God, if it doesn't change, then things are going to get worse for me, or I will not be able to deal with this. Whatever the emotion is, you will have to look into that emotion. That emotion still remains. And so you will go ahead and start clearing. The end goal that we are going for is actually peace of the heart. We should feel peaceful no matter what the outside looks like. And when no matter what the outside looks like, and you're able to let go of that attachment too, and that's when it shifts. But it's a paradox. And I always tell people I have to do work on attachments every second month, because you release an attachment and quietly from a very beautiful corner, when you are not watching, that attachment or another attachment in another way, in another shape, in another form will come and will be attached to you. And there you are. How do you figure out that you're attached to something, that you have expectations from something? They will show you. If you experience hurt through someone, then you can clearly see that there's that link, the link of attachment to the actor, which is creating expectation, which is creating hurt when the expectation is not fulfilled. So as you see the link, you start to release all the three. You start to release the attachment. Yes, you start to release the expectation, and you start to release the hurt and the anger as well, that you think that this person has given you. But no, that person has not given it to you. That person has simply shown his torch on that. A couple more questions. There is, can you also elaborate on expectation other than relationship, expectation of results, expectations which are work related? Absolutely. So you put in your hard work into something, and then with all the hard work that you've put in, you have an expectation that you are going to be successful, or this effort of yours is going to be successful. And what happens? Something happens, and then the effort is not successful. As a matter of fact, right now I hear from so many people where, their effort was not successful. For so many months they tried and their effort was not successful. And then suddenly, as this whole scenario of Corona happened, those very same people are calling me and saying, you know what? Thank God my effort was not successful, because otherwise right now I would have put my money into that place and it would have gone. So when the effort is not successful, again, the answer, even if you don't understand it, the answer is to come into gratitude, because the energy you put behind that effort, your higher energy is not wanting to grow it. And there must be fears that you put in, and there's some protection that's happening. And that's why something is not manifesting. So what does it mean if something that you were going after didn't manifest, and now you are sitting and you're feeling so saddened by it? It just means one thing, this trigger was here to show you your sadness. As it shows you your sadness, you have one job alone, to take that sadness and to candle it. Work related we covered, and results. If you can let go of your expectation of result and truly enjoy the work that you are doing. You've got a deadline or you're working towards something and you can't let go completely of the expectation. Let's say I pick up a project and I'm working on it, and I will be checking myself every 2 hours to see, okay, am I simply doing the project from joy, or has another emotion crept in? If another emotion has crept in, if I'm not able to proceed and something is blocking me, then I will stop in that minute. I will change my frequency. I will do things that change my frequency. I will not be anxious that, okay, I'm not able to complete this because this is time bound. So what happens is, when you're running towards a deadline, you're running with a lot of fear, uncertainty, and anxiety in your heart. And I say, A, don't run. B, if you want to run, then release all of these. The anxiety, the fear, the doubts, and all of that, the lack, that what will happen if this doesn't get completed. As you release all of these anxieties, you will find that you might even take simply, 80% of the job, and the job is not complete. But because you released fears of what the other person will say, the other person actually doesn't say much at all. The other person doesn't even notice that it's only 80% complete. It happens when you are empty of your fears. No matter what you say, every second I get some nice poetry when I see you. Hard work versus hardly work. I know you are at hardly work, and I love that part, because one of the topics that I'm going to pick up one of these days is struggle and hard work versus hardly work. And these are two separate programs, and we associate everything. We associate outcomes, we associate attachments with, we have to do hard work and we have to do struggle to get to some place. And I'm just watching myself get everything nowadays with ease and grace, but zero hard work. And I spent all my life as an investment banker doing a lot of hard work. So now I'm watching the other side happen. What if someone's nature is such that he gets attached to everyone because he tells everyone? That's truly attachment, and that it's not because of trust. No, as a matter of fact, it's not because of trust at all. Because from trust comes unconditional love. And unconditional love is all about not understanding, not even getting into the story of what the other person is giving you, but being able to be love. You don't have to even give love. The love is automatically received. You just have to be love. And to be love, firstly, the love has to be for yourself. And the nature, yes, absolutely, it's your nature to get attached to absolutely everyone. And why is that happening? Remember that link. From the attachment to the expectation now. That now I'm attached to this person. I expect this person to talk to me nicely. I expect this person to give me love. I expect this person to respond to me. So expectation, expectation, expectation. And from that expectation, sometimes when it gets fulfilled, what do you receive? You receive joy. And the other times when it doesn't get fulfilled, what do you receive? You receive pain, a lot of pain. And that's exactly what we talked about. So if you want to receive only joy and not that pain, then you simply have to start looking at releasing that attachment, that hook, that I need to be attached to everyone. I need to receive love from everyone. That's simply a lack. And all of these expectations lead us more and more into lack. Can all work always be done out of joy only? Sometimes we just need to do something because it just needs to be done. So it needs to be done out of joy, not necessary. Someone called me and said, Meenal, I'm really, suffering because I'm just stuck at home. I have so much talent. I was such a, good designer. I used to do this, I used to do that. And now I simply sit at home because I have these old parents, in-laws who are sitting at home, every time the bloody doorbell rings, I have to go out and open the door, and I have to do it 100 times in a day. And you say that we have to have gratitude for everything that we do. We have to have joy in everything that we do. And I can't find joy in it. So I tell people that, that if you are going to be in gratitude, that thing that you are doing is going to get easier for you. When you are joy inside and you do something with joy, it only grows your joy. If you do it with the emotion of, oh God, it's a responsibility, and I'm the only one who can do it, and why is this responsibility on me? Then that's the feeling that you are growing. And you have to now take on this burden. So as you start to feel the heavy burden on your shoulders, I tell people, don't do it for a day. If you are able to catch yourself that now, right now, you're not coming out of joy, then pause and create gratitude for the task that you have at hand. So this woman, she told me, how can I have gratitude? What's there to feel grateful about? The ringing doorbell 40 times in a day. Then I said, well, do you have legs that are moving and that are doing fine? Feel gratitude for that itself. That you, of all the people in the house, are in that place. Be grateful that you are able to move. So she said, if that's the way that you're going to find gratitude, then everything is going to be all about gratitude only. And I said, yeah, exactly. Everything is going to be about gratitude only. Everything is going to be about joy only. So you say, do work and don't expect results. I absolutely say, do work, enjoy the work. As you are doing the work, enjoy it and don't expect results. And you've recently just seen the results. So congratulations, by the way, on your big, big promotion that just happened. And so when you were expecting it, it didn't come. But then when you are not expecting it and simply working on your inner self, and that's when the results suddenly started to show up. So that's the paradox. Do the work, enjoy the work, be in joy, and then let the expectations just go to the wayside. Because as you do the work, you've already received the return from that transaction. As you receive the joy, the transaction is over. So don't expect it to give you anything else. It's not that it won't give you anything else. It's going to give you peace of mind over here first. Now, if you see success outside, well, wonderful. If you don't see success outside, you will be saved from all of that pain that you were going to feel earlier. Many people start calling me selfish, heartless, cruel. Candle took away my masumiyat. Well, as it took away your masumiyat, it gave you so much more. So as people call you selfish, heartless, cruel, and all of that, what is it that you are feeling? Just simply look in. Even if you're laughing it away, be aware. Are you just laughing it away because you are feeling hurt and you want to hide that hurt? Sometimes we laugh away because we are too hurt. So if we are still feeling the hurt, we don't need to show it to people, but we do need to speak the truth to ourselves. And if you are feeling hurt, then hurt has come to be released. That's the essence of Gita. Well, yeah, it's the essence of every Gita and everybody who's receiving from the source, because everybody is only talking one thing, that enjoy the moment in the now and don't have expectations from tomorrow. If people are just prejudiced, that they blame you for all their problems, they just don't allow you to even breathe, don't allow you to dress up the way you want, or put you down every time. Now you feel gratitude to them, how you flush the anger. If people are doing that to that person, you have to understand what attracted those people in that person's life. We are energy, and everything about us is energy. We are the energy field that is attracting all the people in our lives. So if somebody in your life is doing this, or let's say 10 people in your life are doing this, where is the creation of this role happening? The creation is happening from your energy pot. And you ask how to flush the anger. I teach this candle process. And I teach this to everybody to do it 100 times in a day if that's what needs to be done to flush your anger. I used to be 99% angry. I used to be that person. And nowadays, it's about a year or two when I experience the anger truly inside. It doesn't mean that outside I'm not shouting. Outside I'm shouting at anybody and everybody. But as I'm shouting outside, I look inside and there's only joy inside. And inside I'm actually laughing. And that can happen. But when does that happen? That happens when your energy is just joy. And then you're playing roles for people. You say, I'm feeling angry. Then that anger is creating more and more actors in your life who will make you experience that anger. So initially, it will be one person who will be prejudiced against you, and then it will be a dozen. So now, before you know it, there will be so many more people who will be creating more and more anger in you. What is your work at this point in time? Your work is to start releasing your anger by the liters, by the gallons. You have to constantly check yourself because there is nobody outside except your own mirror. It's your energy that's creating that outside scenario. While we can't understand the whole of the energy, but we can understand that what's manifesting is manifesting for a purpose. The purpose is to now clear yourself. What was the purpose earlier before you came into awareness? The purpose was to grow that emotion. If you were sitting in lack and more people showed you lack, you don't have this, you don't know this, you would get deeper into the lack. But now when you are aware, when people show you that, you start to release the lack. That's the difference in awareness and unawareness. In unawareness, we can't choose the emotion. And so the finger is squarely pointed outside. That person should change and that person should change. And there's nothing wrong with me. I'm perfect. Over here, I say that person is perfect and you are perfect. Both of you are perfect at the current state of energy that you are at. As your joy grows more, that frequency has another level of perfection, and that will start to manifest. It's easier to release expectations, but to be finding joy still seems difficult. No worries. Okay, finding joy is difficult. Start tuning more and more into my frequency. And I've actually had people tell me this. They come to my workshop, and after some time, they'll be like, I don't know what's wrong with me, Meenal. I'm giggling all the time, or I'm laughing all the time. And I say, yep, you've tuned in. I know what's wrong with you. You've tuned into the Meenal frequency. Stay here. I actually noticed that many of you, as you're working on yourselves, you get stuck. How to work on yourself? The finger goes on the other and then it stays over there. And you can't figure out, okay, how do I even get gratitude to this? How do I let go of expectation? And sometimes, I didn't even realize it was expectation. I didn't even realize it was attachment. As I do this conversation with you, it's only to bring to your recognition. This is the part that you need to be aware of, which you haven't still addressed in your energies field. Look within and clear your emotion. At all times, when we sit in guidance and say those 3 lines, I'm in the frequency of Meenal, I take energy from Meenal, I am Meenal. When you say those 3 lines, ask the universe, what else do I need to release? Some memory will come from somewhere. And maybe that memory also holds the same emotions. Do a release from there as well. This is something we need to be reminded about every day and every week. Yes, absolutely. As I said, the attachments, I release them today and I'm going to give you the tool. I've given that tool 100 times on the group that we are on, but I'm going to share that tool again. And today I really want you guys to do it. And that was my expectation from you. This is a tool to cut through the expectations and attachments. And I do it almost every once in 2 months. Anytime that I feel a slight bit of pain caused by something or someone, I recognize that if there is pain, if there is hurt, it is coming only from one place, that I must have created an attachment somewhere. And now I need to go and release that poor actor from the expectations that I'm holding from him. or her. So the tool is this, that you will sit down with a piece of paper and pencil, and a candle and a matchbox, and you will put the candle in a bit of a larger pot, and on the piece of paper you will write names of all your dear ones, all your near and dear ones, which have created love in your life, which have created joy in your life, and also those ones that you gave love to, but they created a lot of pain in your life. You will create chits, from the paper, tear those pieces of paper and write on those chits of paper the names of these people. And now you will sit in front of the candle, one chit at a time, with the name of that person on that chit. You are going to burn in the candle. And you will also take one matchstick and you will burn that matchstick. That matchstick is the fire that you are putting to their dead body when they are sitting on the pyre on their last moment, and you are cremating them. You will be asking me, why would I want to do this? My people, my loved ones, why would I want to kill all my loved ones? Why would I even create such a scenario for myself? And what if something happens to them? I'm imagining them dead, and what if they actually die? My God, why would I do that? And so here it is. If you are fearful of doing it, then guess what? In your energies is a lot of fear of deaths. So you have to release that fear of death. Nobody is going to die just because you thought that they might die. They have come with their own energy field, their plan. They will die as per their plan. But what are you holding in you? You are holding fear related to their death. So release that fear into that candle. Release that fear that your thoughts can be so negative that they can create something negative for another person. So release that fear too. As you release this fear, you will also, the first body that you actually burn is going to be your own. Because more than anyone else, who is it that you have all the expectations from? You have the most number of expectations from your own self. I need to be the best mother. I need to be the best father. I need to do well at this. I need to do well at that. People should be proud of me. I should be proud of me. And those are all the expectations that you are holding on your shoulders, and you're working with that. Write your own name. Write your own name on that piece of paper and burn that piece of paper. As you burn that piece of paper, actively, consciously think of all the expectations that you have from yourself and let go. Sure, they will come back again, but for this moment, as much as you can, lighten yourself up. If 2 or 3 expectations come back, then fine. We'll be able to work on them, because you will be able to see now, oh, hurt is created. Let me trace it back to the link, to the attachment, to the expectation. That expectation belongs to me. Into the candle it goes. It'll be easier for you to do it 1 or 2 times in a few months. But right now, you've never released the expectations. So sit down and release all of those expectations with those people. Why am I asking you to do that? Because at this moment, you have transactional love that's going on between you and those loved ones. So some of the people, they gave you joy and you gave them joy. You gave them a lot of love. They gave you all that love in return and more. And what did these other people do? You gave them love and they gave you a lot of hurt in return. And then you started to seek peace. And then you went into some session, you started to do some meditations. Those people actually gave you the love for yourself, the knowing of the self that you had come to experience. So thank those people who are giving you love. Here's a transaction. Transactions are easy. Here's a transaction of I give you love, you give me love back. And then there's that transaction, I give you love and you give me blame. And that blame leads me into my self-knowing. And so it brings me into an awareness of the self. So thank that person who gave you love. but thank even more that person who didn't give you love, because that person is responsible for the growth of your soul. And when you're able to understand that, the gratitude will be real. And when you are able to get that gratitude for real, how will that process itself happen? Through this letting go of attachment, resentment, by letting go of that person today. The even the people that you are sitting with today, who are, there's a love relationship, why would you do it for them? So that even to them you can start to give unconditional love. Right now you don't even know what unconditional love looks like. Or maybe you tried to do this and you got too fearful of all the emotions that were coming up. Oh well, those emotions belong to you, those tears belong to you, and you are holding all of that emotion inside. You are going to release it in a timed manner. When somebody dies, I'm going to cry. When somebody falls sick, I'm going to cry. Instead of that, release all of those today. Release all those fears that you're holding for people today, and you will find that your love, that energy exchange that's already happening away from those expectations, is so much more pure, so much more beautiful. And you will find that those people who were treating you supposedly badly, as you start to come into gratitude for them, their energy will automatically start to receive that gratitude from you, and you will find them shifting. They will shift, and yet again, at times they will have that role to play. No, she still needs to be hurt because she's still holding that hurt. And they will hurt you again. And you'll be like, shit, I did all of that work, but this person just doesn't change. No, no, no. It's not that that person doesn't change. It's that you have picked up attachment and expectation again, and you just simply need to release that again. The work is always within, only on the self. And Vanita creates fear in me. Okay, you can grow the fear if you wish. It's completely a choice. I've already said what to do with the fear, but that's fine. As I said, when I said I expect you to do this, I already laughed because I don't set expectations. Shivika, positive thoughts change reality, then won't these negative thoughts or fear of losing someone will create reality? And that's why you're losing the fear itself. That's the first step. You are losing the fear. The fear is the negative thought. Everybody is going to be lost one day and going to go back home. Everyone. But this fear of losing is what you are holding. Let go. And you will find that the love you hold for them is actually going to be without this fear. So many times you say, I love you to someone. And then as you say that I love you, there is this deep fear inside that I hope this person doesn't leave me or stop loving me. When you let go of that fear, your love becomes even more beautiful, and you're able to say I love you without the fear. As you give this energy of pure love, what you start to receive from the other is also pure love. Your session is very useful to me. That's why I attend both the meetings. Thank you so much. Now my expectation with you. Wonderful. Well, whatever your expectation with me is, I hope that I give you joy and not give you the hurt. But even if I do give you the hurt, it's your hurt. You have work on you, and there's nothing on me. Thoughts do manifest. Absolutely. Thoughts manifest all the time. Any thought that you give enough charge to. And that's why I'm telling you, give charge to fearlessness. And that's why I'm telling you, give charge to unconditional love. And don't give charge to fear. Release your fear. You can choose fearlessness. It's a choice. If you are deeply in love with someone, putting them in fire, it hurts, gives more pain. Don't be in fear of the tears itself. Why are you afraid of crying? Tears are the most beautiful way to release. So as you start to release through the tears, this pain and this deep fear of loss that you are holding, You are going to start release that through the tears. What you're saying is that, I'm feeling the fear that it will manifest. And I say, no, this is charge for today. What you're constantly doing by fearing that person's loss is actually you are creating more charge on the fear side every time you think of death and you relate that to some family member or the other. And I'm actually like telling you, let go of that fear itself and tune into unconditional love. Let's say you have a beautiful relationship with a loved one. Would you like to see it get more beautiful? Because then there is unconditional love. All right, people, we are at the end of this. I'm going to give you 2 minutes of meditation. And for all of those who want to experience unconditional love, try the tool. For all of those who want to let the fear win, let the fear win. It'll bother you one day enough, and then you'll want to shed it. So till then, right now, into that 2 minutes of meditation. So deep breath. And as you take a deep breath in and a deep breath out, simply allowing yourself to take in everything that has just been spoken. All the words to sink in with the unconditional love in the frequency of Meenal. I am Meenal. I take energy from Meenal. I am the frequency of Meenal. And all my expectations, I am ready to release. And as I allow myself to see the truth behind these expectations, I am ready to release the hurt. I am ready to experience more joy. I allow myself to receive the joy that this universe wants to give to me. I open myself. I accept the frequencies of Meenal, the frequencies of the heart. I accept them with openness. And to all the actors who've given me love, I thank them. And to all the actors that have given me my self-knowing through the hurt, I thank them. Thank you for showing me what I hold. And now I shift from holding that to holding more and more the frequency of Meenal. I am Meenal. Releasing the separation from Meenal. I am Meenal. Om Mani. Okay, darlings. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank
you so
you.
much.